Hey everybody, this is Tara from Tara's Truths. Today is Wednesday, April 28th, and I figured I would just kind of jump on, do a little video face to face. You get to see me now. I'm not actually doing a reading, but I came out into the woods to spend some time in nature. It is after work. I had a work day today. I'm a veterinary technician by trade, just in case some of you didn't know. So I've been all week in work, so it's beautiful out here, so I wanted to take advantage of the weather. And I just wanted to just pop on and say hello, introduce myself. Now you get to see what I look like. And I just wanted to share a couple of thoughts that have been in my brain for a very long time, actually, and some things that have kind of just come to the surface more recently through just some events that have happened in my life, both personally and even professionally. So I figured I would just hop on and talk about it. So I know there's some school for thoughts about the twin flame energy and the divine counterpart energy and what they mean. And I know some people are strict. I'm really not, because I'm open. I am a divine feminine. I resonate with the divine feminine energy. And for me, being a divine feminine, I'm more open to, oh, I have a little beetle on me. I'm more open to what is going to resonate with being opened and more flow, and not necessarily having strict what's the word I'm looking for, more or less strict policies of how this, like, have different things dictate based on other people's information. And along my own path, I've gotten different information, and that's true for everybody, because we get different information for where we are at that time. We can't be in an advanced class if you've never started. So you kind of have to, it's steps, it's stages, it's levels, it's layers. So along in my healing practices, which I've been on a journey of self-healing and self-discovery for the better part of 15 years now, and the last, I'd say 5, maybe 7, 5-ish, maybe more solid 5, I've really threw myself into diving deep and doing shadow work, and more what I want for myself, going in and learning what the difference between ego and the difference between what the Buddhists call the monkey mind, which is all the thoughts constantly going. I came from a place of dealing with a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression. I've had a lot of trauma in my life, from childhood all the way up through my adult years. And I'm finally in a space now where the trauma is just, every day, every person's trauma. It's not necessarily trauma, it's just your normal everyday stress. But I have come so far, and I wanted to just share some wisdoms with you and some things I picked up along the way. So I was married at one point. The marriage did not work. We were best friends, not lovers, and we decided to let go of the marriage and keep the friendship. And we were both very fortunate that we got to be amicable about this. And I used to say that this was the love of my life, and I married the love of my life. And after the marriage was over, I used to say I married the love of my life, the first half of my life. I want to meet and marry the love of my life for the second half of my life. And then I stumbled upon this whole twin flame energy, and I said, this is really interesting, and it's like one person for you, and it's actually you but in a different body, and I was hooked, and I just got sucked right into this energy and going down this road. And that's when I started learning about divine feminine, divine masculine, which is funny because from the time I was a kid, I used to doodle, and I doodled stars, but also the yin and the yang. I love the yin yang symbol, which is this, the balance of the female, the duality, the feminine, the masculine energy within the whole. And there's a little bit of feminine in the masculine and a little bit of masculine in the feminine. And to me, that's like what the energy represents of the connection. Anyway, I just kind of figured I'd put that in there. So when I started stumbling upon this, I was just drawn to it. And as time moved on, and this happened, I guess, about like 6-7 years ago, and as my journey went on, where I thought I met somebody who was my twin and turned out to be the false twin, if you will, I realized that it may not be exactly one person specifically meant for you. I feel that the universe is so vast and we have no idea what's out there, and if we open up to it, like the divine feminine that I am, that it can rearrange and reschedule things based on decisions you make. For instance, I meet the people I meet because of where I live, but what if I lived in a different place? I'd meet different people. You know what I mean? So I definitely believe people are destined to meet. I'm not saying they're not. I definitely believe in that. I think that everything happens for a reason. I've always felt that way. That has been a theme throughout my life from even the time I was a child. So there are some deeper truths that I keep with me all along. But I'm not necessarily buying into this whole thing that there's one specific person for you. And I say that because there was another relationship in my life when I was very young. I was 18, fell in love, thought I was going to be with this person, thought I was going to marry this person. Didn't work out. Met my ex-spouse, got married, then, spouse. But me and that other person, we remained friends. And when both of our marriages ended up failing, we came back into union. We came back together. And it was really to clear out stuff because I had grown and changed and he didn't. He didn't necessarily grow and change. And I'm not judging him. I wish him a lot of luck and a lot of love and a lot of healing and wish him well. But the situation was just so unhealthy and it was very codependent. And I swore, in looking back, I could have thought he was my twin. I mean, the connection between us was so indescribable. We felt similar about a lot of things, but I remember actually sleeping in bed and it's the morning and I'd wake up and I would hear his voice say, "Good morning, Tara." And I'd feel his arms around me, hugging me. And as I would feel that, my phone would go off with a text, "Good morning, Tara." So the connection was so strong, and yet I would describe him as people would say now, a karmic. And the reason he was brought into my life was for me to learn lessons about myself, from my own deeper inner healing. Did I want to continue the pattern of him being with other women and me waiting around for him, or him, going off and doing what he wanted and he didn't have to commit to me because I was just accepting whatever he was willing to give me and not knowing what my worth was? And as I got older, because now I'm, however many years older, I'm like, no, I deserve more than that. And that's not what I'm going to live with. So sometimes the universe brings us these energies back to see how far we've come, to see if we've learned our lesson. And it will bring it in different forms to see if we've learned what our worth is and how we value ourselves and how we view ourselves. So it's not necessarily about the connection with the person, it's about the connection with the self. And when you are in complete alignment with self and you practice self-love and self-care and self-acceptance, your true divine counterpart, the person who's vibrating at your energy level, will find their way to you. It's the law of attraction. Like attracts like. So sometimes I do look at it like, if I've attracted this person, what is this saying about me? If they're, and I'm not saying, everybody's at different stages in all different parts. Like there are things I vibrate lower about and I vibrate higher about. And then like people I've been with vibrated lower than me or higher than me. So it's really kind of like that give and take, that yin and yang, the balance of the two. So I guess what I'm trying to say is it's about knowing what your self-worth is, knowing who you are, and trusting yourself, the connection within yourself. Then when a divine counterpart comes in and is willing to work with you, and you build something together, and you keep growing, and you keep evolving and opening up and sharing and moving forward, that's what the important part is. And if we're in a situation where we are so in our minds of, well, is this person my divine counterpart, or is that person not my divine counterpart, or he's not? And because ego does like to play these games, the mind likes to play games because our mind is like a computer, and it likes to run on certain information that we give it. So it has like these systems that run, and it's like, oh, you're straying from there, we got to get you to think over here. So that's normal. It's human nature. It comes with the package because we are humans. So this is what happens. But it's our divine purpose to say, I recognize this voice. I'm not going to listen to you. Like if there's a situation where the person you have feelings for is in a relationship with somebody else, or with somebody else, you think, oh, well, right now they're with that person and they love them and not me. And it's like, I'm not going to go down that road, because that is my mind just trying to point out something to stress about. That's ego. And to live more of a divine purpose is to get out of ego and to say, you know what, I don't need to be in that space. I don't need to live there. It's okay that I think that. Thank you for giving me the answer, for giving me that information, but we're not going to entertain that at that time. And that's how you kind of pull yourself out of drama as well. We tend to get caught up in drama, in our friends' drama, in our own drama, in work's drama, and life's drama, and TV's drama, and even TV shows, like, I was saying to a friend at work today how she was saying how she has a hard time sleeping, but she watches TV before bed. And I said, I stopped doing that years ago, because even if it was something funny or lighthearted, some of these things are still like, where humor is based on putting others down. And I'm not saying that's necessarily a bad thing, it just is. But if you have that and you're in a relaxed state and this is what's being fed to you, it's still a negative energy. There's a negative connotation to it. So having that and going to bed can't be the healthiest thought processes that you're having. So like, I love these shows, like Schitt's Creek, I find hysterical, Arrested Development, great. But like, from just a standpoint of, how they treat each other, it's life, but it could be a toxic part of life as well. And to hear that while you're in a more restful state isn't helpful and doesn't promote healing. It promotes staying stuck. So anyway, kind of going off topic here. I didn't really have a topic. I guess I just wanted to get on and show my face and talk. But I also wanted to mention about, what I think a divine counterpart is. So for me, a divine counterpart is somebody else who is vibrating at a similar energy as me, or willing to move forward and raise their vibration and open up to healing self and others, and willing to work together in a partnership and making decisions together and making plans together and showing up for each other and showing up for yourself. And sometimes you get scared and you go back into this energy that may self-sabotage, or may hurt you, or you may run, or you may chase, or all these things, and you may separate or whatever. And it's more about, how do you hold yourself during these times? Okay? And if this person is no longer serving you and no longer for your greatest good, not that they're not a divine counterpart, you're not in alignment. So get yourself in alignment and figure out what you want. And if you want to be in a divine counter partnership, you have a decision to make to either move on without that person and find another divine counterpart, somebody who's willing to work with you, or just be by yourself. And either one of those scenarios is fine. But when we're trying to pretend that we want to be by ourselves, but it's to get that other person back, that's manipulation. That's self-manipulation. And you're manipulating the other person. And it's not fair to anybody in the group. So, twin flame energy, I think, took on a negative connotation to it because it almost made it like, if anybody watches Buffy the Vampire Slayer, if not, I'll give you a quick rundown. You know, she's the chosen one. She's the only one that has these powers. And when she dies, the next one is born. The next one comes into her powers. Well, it's very like specific, like you are the only one on the planet who has this, and that's it. There's one, that's it. And it's almost like self-limiting. You know, at the end of the series, she has all the possible slayers gain their power to take over and overcome the big evil that they had to fight. So that's really what this is all about. Let's give everybody the power. Let's empower everybody. Not just say this one specific person is my only person. That I don't find that to be, I don't see how that could be true. We're changing every single day. We should be. We're growing, we're learning. And what resonates with you one day is not going to resonate with you in another day. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, you're with somebody and you say, well, I don't resonate with you anymore. Fuck you, bye. It's not what I mean at all. You know, it's how you work together as a couple, as a divine couple, and how you want to heal. So that's why I think I have a thing with the twin flame. And a lot of times codependence can become an attachment style. Unhealthy attachment styles can play out in these scenarios. And it's almost like the twin flame community, and I don't mean this negatively, I mean, unfortunately, we get stuck in this, and I'm guilty of it. I'm not saying I am above this at all. I come to you from experience, and I'm going to get trapped in this loop again because this is my monkey mind that does this to me. I trip myself up all the fucking time. Not saying I don't. I totally do. But when we have this codependent type thing, or these attachment styles, or these expectations, we tend to hold on and cling and stay stuck and repeat these patterns and loop and loop. So I guess I'm asking you, what's in your best interest? What's in your greatest and greatest good? And how does that show up in your life? Does it show up in your life? Are you joyful? Are you peaceful? Are you in alignment with your own inner divine masculine and inner divine feminine? Are you in balance with that? Because when you're in balance with that, and this goes for all people, when you have alignment with those two energies within you, you can open up and hold yourself within your own sacred container of your own body, your own presence, your own being, so that you can show up for this other person and be either divine feminine or the divine masculine. But it's not until then that this can happen. So I don't know, maybe what I'm saying is a lot of people are karmic partners in a way, like we're burning through karma. It's like the universe kind of like not testing us in a bad way, but saying, you know, all right, we're going to keep doing this until you get it right, you know? And it's gentle. It is a gentle thing, and it should be gentle. And we should be gentle on ourselves. We shouldn't be beating the hell out of ourselves over this. That's not self-love. And I'm guilty of it. I'm not saying I'm not. But the more practice, meditation, journaling, working with crystals, working with tarot cards, working with other people who energy healers. This isn't just me that do it. I have a pain specialist because I have pain in my neck. So I have a person who stretches me, okay? I have a shamanic practitioner that I do shamanic journeys with, and we also do shadow work together. She's one of my mentors. I also have a metaphysical doctor that also helps me with all of this stuff and karmic stuff and helps me release. I've had therapists in my past. I work with I have a person that I do craniosacral therapy with. I've had other Reiki people work Reiki on me, or Qigong, or energy work, or whatever. So it does take a team. And I have my best friend growing up who's like an amazing sounding board, and I have my mom who listens to me. I have my dad who listens to me. I have friends and family who I love and adore, and we help each other and we support each other. I have a network of people, and I feel very blessed that I have this set up. And most importantly, I have myself and my guides, because guides, if you ask them the right questions, they'll give you the right answers. Because a lot of times they just see the divine. They don't see how to work in this realm. But if you say, I need help working this through on this realm, on earth, as a human, help me, they will. And they'll help you a lot of times by bringing another person into your life that you need to learn this lesson and need to learn to be humble or gracious or forgiving. It may be somebody who triggers you like nobody else ever triggered you. And you may go down this spiraling thing where you feel like you're going down and down and down deeper into hell, where you're like, I just came out of hell. Why am I going back there? You're not. You're not going back there. You're just being reminded of what's there. And it's asking you, look at this. Let's work through it together. So I guess I'm looking to help people heal. I feel that I am a healer. I was born a healer. I was also born a medium. I hear spirit world. I hear messages. I get information. I get into my intuition. And I'm an intuitive card reader. I feel like I don't know the cards. That's just how I feel. I feel like I read the energy of the cards. But sometimes, like, if you ask me, what does this card mean? I'm like, I don't know. What is it pertaining to? It depends on what else is around it and where it is in the reading, So, but that's just how my mind works. And I used to beat the shit out of myself over that. Like, I should know these cards. I should do this. And why? That's not who I am. That's not how I do it. So, but for those of you who have recently connected with me on TikTok, I really appreciate it, because I appreciate that forum, because it gives me a little bit, because as you could see, I want to jump on and here I am droning. But it gives me like these little 60-second blurbs of like the week, and it's fun. It's fun to do, and it's fun to connect with people and like-minded people who are going through this. And like I said, this isn't judgment. I've been there, and I'm gonna be there again. I'm gonna get in my head again. I do it all the freaking time. We're in this together, and that's what this is. That knowing that you're not alone. And even if you feel like you're alone, you're not. You have guides. So even if you're in a position where you feel like you have nobody else, you have guides. All you have to do is listen. You're getting signs all the time, whether it's out in nature, whether it's through thoughts, whether it's through music, whether it's through some type of creative expression, writing, painting, sculpting, dancing, creating. That's your guides at work. Those are your muses at work. And those are the people those are the beings that want you to be the best possible version of yourself. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. I thank you for listening. I thank you for letting me help you and serve you. I look forward to continuing to do this. I'd like to do this more on a full-time basis. I'd like to actually really for real kind of hang out my shingle and offer readings to people, private readings. It is a little bit difficult for me being in a full-time job and having other things in my life that I kind of have to go through. So, and I didn't stop for COVID. I didn't quarantine. I was still working. I was deemed an essential. So for me, the world hasn't stopped. So I had to kind of, you know, reevaluate and revamp, so to speak, I guess. But I thank you, and thank you for being loyal. And if you're new, like I said, please reach out, share, subscribe, ask questions, private message me. Even if you want a reading, private message me. We'll figure something out. I don't know how it looks. I don't know whether to do it on like a Zoom thing or whether to do a video for you. Like, see, these are the things that I'm still sorting out with spirit, and this is what I'm trying to figure out. And it's not always easy because I am a divine feminine and I just flow all over, you know. So I have to come in alignment with my divine masculine, my inner divine masculine, and honor the divine masculines in my life that are in there, and kind of take a page from their book and say, all right, well, this is how I have to do it, and I have to be more disciplined. And you know, it's hard being a feminine. All right, everybody, so you will see me again soon in my next reading, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week. If you're in beautiful weather, go outside, enjoy it. I don't know if you've been hearing the birds going, and before there were like all these little flying little insects around. I almost felt like I was surrounded by fairies. It was really cool. It was really interesting. So yeah, that's about it for me. Like, share, subscribe, and I will catch you all soon. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your week. Bye. Mwah.